Splatoon 2 does have a lot of stages from the first game on the Wii U, but it looks like not every single stage will be making its way to the second game from the first game because updates are supposed to be ending next month. So what I thought I would do in this video is take a look at the stages that are currently in Splatoon 1 but they haven't made their way yet to the second game, and it looks likely that they will never make their way to the second game. So I just want to shine a spotlight on the 7 stages that haven't made their way yet to the second game and just give my thoughts on those stages. There is definitely potential there for Nintendo to keep Splatoon 2 fresh by adding in one of these stages once a month. Maybe not every single stage will be possible due to some of these stages having improved versions in the second game, but they could help to keep Splatoon 2 active well into 2019 if Nintendo did decide to release some of these stages for the second game. So let's just start off with a stage that probably would not be possible to return in the second game due to it having an improved version of that stage within the second game, and that stage is Salt Spray Rig. Skip Hop Pavilion, which is the last stage that did get added in for Splatoon 2, is sort of an improved version of Salt Spray Rig. Salt Spray Rig, one of the biggest problems with this stage is that it was unbalanced. One spawn or one side of the stage definitely did have a big advantage over the other stage, which is why a lot of people did complain when they did play Salt Spray Rig because it was sort of unbalanced to play. It was definitely quite annoying to play ranked, for example, on Salt Spray Rig, but I definitely did enjoy this stage. It was one of the first stages that I played on Splatoon. I can remember with the global test file. I can remember in May 2015, that was the first time I ever played Splatoon with the global test file. I can remember the 2 stages available were Wall-Art Warehouse and Salt Spray Rig. So for nostalgia reasons, I guess I could get nostalgic about all of these stages that I will be talking about, but Salt Spray Rig, I have fond memories of playing on this stage when the global test file did come out in 2015, so I personally would love to see it return. I definitely did enjoy playing on this stage, how you had pretty much that square bit to control, and once you did control that square bit, then pretty much you had the stage locked down pretty much, especially in Turf War. So yeah, I would love to see Salt Spray Rig return, but I could understand if Nintendo decided not to add in this stage for Splatoon 2 due to Skip Hop Pavilion sort of improving on this stage layout. Let me know your thoughts about Salt Spray Rig. Would you want to see that stage return in Splatoon 2? Let's just talk about a stage that I am surprised hasn't made its way to the second game, and this was the first stage that we ever saw in terms of Splatoon. Back in E3 2014, Urchin Underpass was the very first stage that we saw. It was the stage where most of the trailer was set on, and at E3 2014 we got to see a lot of gameplay footage of Urchin Underpass. So I'm really surprised due to those reasons, due to how important Urchin Underpass is to the series. It was the first stage we saw from the series. So I'm really surprised that we haven't seen Urchin Underpass yet. We have seen it on the Switch through another game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I am really surprised that we haven't seen Urchin Underpass yet. Maybe we haven't seen this stage due to them having problems balancing out this stage. It did get a massive stage revision, kind of like what Starfish Main Stage and the Reef have got for the second game. Urchin Underpass got a massive renovation, so maybe the reason why Nintendo haven't added in Urchin Underpass yet is because they can't quite balance out this stage. Maybe that is the reason, but I really did enjoy the first version of this stage. It was quite easy to control this stage. It was really easy to read the flow of this stage. Pretty much you had 3 areas where the enemies would come from. You had an elevated section looking out on the middle of the stage. This would be on the left side or your right side coming out of spawn. This was used quite a lot of times by charger users to get some sort of verticality on the stage and to pick out anybody that would be in the middle of the stage. You have a main access way to the middle of the stage itself. This was the most popular way to access the middle of the stage. It was used a lot of the times, and you would pick out a lot of people that would use this main access way. That was the main sort of choke point of the stage. And also you do have an area on your left side of spawn that would sort of take you out of the limelight a little bit, but again it would give you an outlook or a viewpoint of the stage. And again, this was used quite a lot of times by charger users to get that verticality on the rest of the stage. You could access this area if you were the enemy. You could use this to get access to the enemy spawn. So this was used quite a lot of times to pin back people to the enemy spawn. That was one of the things that I did like about the original stage. The sort of renovation, it did make the main access way a little bit wider, and they sort of made it less straightforward so that people could get out of spawn. I definitely did prefer the original version of the stage, but again, I would just love to see Urchin Underpass make its way to the second game. I definitely do miss this stage, even if it was the renovated version that did return. I would just love it nonetheless. It would just be another sort of new stage for the second game. It would be another stage to play on. So yeah, I would definitely love to see this stage return. Now, whenever this conversation does come up, one of the most popular stages that a lot of people in the community would love to see return is Flounder Heights, and I am no different. I would absolutely love to see Flounder Heights come back. It was sort of different to the other stages in the first game. It was set in an apartment complex, and the middle of the stage was a bunch of apartments. It gave the stage some sort of verticality. I absolutely love it how you've got pretty much the whole of the apartment complex to swim up. You could pretty much swim up whatever way you wanted. It just was such a fun stage to play on, it really was. I loved not only going up right side where you had that mesh walkway to sort of fall back on, but left side was sort of fun to surprise people that were on their right side. I absolutely loved this stage, and I'm really disappointed that Nintendo didn't choose to bring back this stage sooner. Seriously, it would be criminal if this stage didn't come back. It really would be. It is definitely one of the best stages in the whole entire series, so it has to come back. It really has to come back to the second game. What I will do is either on my Twitter account or on my second channel, I will upload a live commentary that I did upload onto the main channel, but unfortunately I did have to delete that video due to it having a content ID claim. So you will be seeing some footage of Flounder Heights in the background, but also I will upload that live commentary that was recorded around about the time when Flounder Heights did come out in 2015. So that will be either uploaded onto my Twitter account or onto my second channel. I will leave a link to both in the comment section below. It will either be a pinned comment or I will leave links in the description. But yeah, Flounder Heights, Such a good stage, it really is. I absolutely love this stage, I really do. I just love the verticality. It's such a unique stage, and it would be a shame if we never got to see it for Splatoon 2. Another popular stage in this conversation would be Bluefin Depot. Again, this is such a good stage. It has to come back. It really has to come back. I have one of my best memories from the first game on Bluefin Depot. I can remember winning a tower control match in around about 2 minutes, and I will be uploading that gameplay in the background. You probably might have already seen this gameplay before. I think I might have already uploaded this gameplay recently, but it is one of my best memories of Bluefin Depot. I just want to share it again. I absolutely love this stage. I love how unique it is. Pretty much once you were on one side of the stage, you couldn't really access the other side of the stage in Turf War. I know in Tower Control you did have a walkway in between the two sides of the stage, but in Turf War I really liked that unique aspect, how you couldn't really access the other side of the stage without going into the opposition side of the stage or moving back into your spawn area and moving into the other side of the stage that way. I absolutely love this stage, and it would be a shame if this stage never made its way to the second game. This was a stage that did get featured in the single player for the first game. Again, it is such a popular stage in the first game, and like what I said before, it would be a massive shame if this stage never made its way to the second game. I think it would fit well with Splatoon 2. With Splatoon 2 you do have quite a lot of close quartered stages, and this would be another stage where you would have quite a lot of action happening all of the time. So yeah, I would just love to see this stage return. I really would. I have got a lot of gameplays of this stage due to it being not only being one of my favourite stages, but I also seem to do really well on this stage. Maybe that could play a role in why I want to see this stage return, but yeah, I think like what I said before, I feel like when this conversation of what Splatoon 1 stages do you want to see return in the second game, I kind of feel like Bluefin Depot, like Flounder Heights, gets talked about quite a lot in the community. So yeah, Bluefin Depot, it would be a shame if this stage never made its way to the second game. It has to, it really has to. Now, I'm not sure whether Hammerhead Bridge will ever make its way to the second game, due to it being sort of like Schellendorf Institute, where you've got an elevated section of the stage where you can go on and look below and splat people below. Sort of like Schellendorf Institute, how you got the glass walkway on Schellendorf Institute on Hammerhead Bridge. You got the mesh sort of walkway. I really do like Hammerhead Bridge. I like how narrow it is. But again, I guess this stage could be too similar to Schellendorf Institute. Maybe that could be a reason why Hammerhead Bridge would never make its way back to the game. But I would love to see this stage again. It would be another new stage to play on. A lot of people didn't get to experience all of the stages that I have talked about in this video due to them being on the Wii U. Not a lot of people picked up a Wii U. So it would be a brand new stage for a lot of people that do have a Switch and Splatoon 2. So yeah, I would love to see Hammerhead Bridge return. This stage did get added in quite late into the life cycle of Splatoon 1. So maybe not a lot of people that did play Splatoon 1, maybe not a lot of those people played Hammerhead Bridge, but I really did like this stage. For me, out of the two sort of stage layouts, I would prefer Hammerhead Bridge over Schellendorf Institute. I prefer that stage to the one that we do have currently in the game. So I would love to see Hammerhead Bridge return, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Similar to that is Mahi Resort. It's sort of like New Albacore Hotel, how it's sort of set in a holiday destination. Maybe that would be too similar to New Albacore Hotel, but I'm going to be honest and say that out of the two stages, Mahi Mahi Resort is the better stage out of the two stages in my opinion. Mahi Mahi Resort is also surrounded by water like New Albacore Hotel, but what was unique about Mahi Mahi Resort is that the water would go down, allowing players to access areas of the stage that previously weren't able to be accessed due to the water. So I would love to see Mahi Mahi Resort based on that unique aspect. I think it would be a shame if we never got to see that sort of aspect in the second game. I would love to see Mahi Mahi Resort, but maybe having New Albacore Hotel, maybe because that is another sort of holiday-like destination, having water hazards on the stage, maybe that could be a reason why Mahi Mahi Resort wouldn't make its way to the second game. But I would love to see it. I would love to see Mahi Mahi Resort return. Moving on to the last stage, and this is a stage that I always mispronounce. I always pronounce it as Museum Alfonsino. I always pronounce it wrong, so I must apologise about that. It gained popularity in the community due to the weird laughter that can be heard on this stage. I really loved this stage. You got like the weird sort of fans that turn around. You got 3 fans on this stage, or 3 sort of turbine sort of windmill objects that rotate. You can use them to get off the ground. You can use them to access the opposition spawn, and that is something that I like to do on this stage. I loved to climb onto the top of these rotating sort of platforms. I love to use them to access the opposition spawn and pin them back. I guess due to how easy it was to pin back people to their spawn, I guess that could be a reason why this stage wouldn't come back to the second game. But again, I would just love to see this stage return like all of the other stages that I have talked about in this video. I think it would be really disappointing if these stages stayed exclusive to the Wii U version of the game. Not a lot of people owned a Wii U, not a lot of people owned Splatoon on the Wii U. A lot of people haven't played on these stages, especially if the second game is the first Splatoon game that they have played. I'm not sure how long the Splatoon 1 servers will stay up. The Wii U wasn't that popular, so maybe Nintendo will shut down Wii U servers soon. If that was the case, that would mean that we would lose all of these stages for good. We would not have a way to play on these stages. So yeah, I'll just love to see these stages return just to preserve these stages. I am a little bit nostalgic. I'll just love to relive some of the memories that I did have on these stages in the first game. I'm not really sure whether you can have nostalgia for something that did come out only like 3 years ago. But yeah, Nintendo, they could help to keep Splatoon 2 fresh by adding in all of these stages. It could mean that we could have updates well into 2019. Maybe Nintendo could change these stages in some sort of way. Maybe they could add in ink rails or ride rails. That would be really cool to see. But yeah, I just want to see these stages return in some capacity. I really do. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Would you want to see these Splatoon 1 stages return in Splatoon 2? I would definitely love to see it, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But that is it for this video, and I will see you in my next video, hopefully.